everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this colour along in Johanna Basford's Small Victories colouring book. And we've done all these fruits so far. The only ones left to do are the tomato and the persimmon. So I thought we would do them both in one video and get it out there, and then this page is done before I do my finished pages for November. Nearly said October. For November. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with the tomatoes, or tomatoes, however you say it. And I thought, rather than just doing them all red, you've noticed with some other fruits that I've done, I like to sort of bring other colours in, like this grapes. I have some green, some purpley pink or whatever. So I thought with the tomatoes, normally when you're growing them at home by yourself, you have some that are fully ripened, so that they're fully red, and then you have some that are sort of yellowy and green in colour. So I thought I'd do the top one, sort of a fully ripened tomato, and then the ones at the bottom, I'm going to add some yellows and greens into these ones and have them like a green and yellow kind of tomato thing. Anyway, that's what I'm going to go for. So still using the polychromos pencils again. I'm going to go in on the red tomato first. So I'm going to go in with light cadmium red 117. Light layer all over the tomato. I'm not sure what these little bits are here, but I'm just going to go straight over them. We're not going to do anything with them. We're just going to colour this tomato as if they're not there. And then this one's going to be the simplest tomato, I think. I'm going to go in with middle cadmium red 217, and this I'm going to deepen up in some areas. So all along this side here, I'm going to deepen up underneath the leaves because there would be a little shadow under there as well. And I'm going to deepen up a little bit on this side, but not much. I'm just going to do a very sort of thin line there, and then I'm going to smooth it all out in a minute. So we're going to go around the bottom. Now, using a lighter pressure and small circular motions, we're going to sort of blend that line. Right, a little bit, so that it's not this harsh line. We don't want that. We want it blending into the centre nicely. I can hear a motorbike outside. So hopefully nobody knocks on my door today. I don't think I've got any parcels coming today. Touch wood. I had to stop the video about 3 times yesterday when I was filming. I've ordered lots of stuff online, and it was like knock 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 knock, all different delivery guys coming to the door. But they're fed up of seeing my face, you know. I was going to blend with my lightest colour of red, but I think it might all merge into one colour if I do that. So I'm going to pop a bit of white down first, white 101. And if I do that, then when I go in with my lightest red, it will keep it a bit brighter rather than dulling it all down. So just do that first, and it will put a white coating around it. But then you're going to go in with your light cadmium red again, 117, and then it'll just make sure that it's not taking it too dark in the highlighted area, because it will still be brighter because you pop that white down first. So we're going to get that colour all around there. See how it's just brightened it up because we put the white down first. And then I'm just going to go back in on this side with the darkest red, middle cadmium red 217. I'm just going to go and put that dark line back in there at the bottom, just because we lost it a bit. And then I'm going to erase that horrible bit that I've just gone over, because it does irritate me. I know some other people aren't bothered about going over the lines, but it's just something that grates on me. And I don't know where my eraser's gone. Where's my eraser gone? Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. It always hides from me, this thing. It's like, not you again. Not you again, wanting to mess about here. It doesn't want to come off either. It's like just gonna erase where I don't want it to erase now, isn't it? It doesn't really want to erase. Let's just leave it. Leave it, Kirsty. Stop faffing. Alright, so we're going to move on to this one now, I think. Or should we do this one? No, we'll do this one. And this one's going to be more of a yellowy green one. So I'm going to go in first with Dirt Naples Ochre 184. I hope you can see I've got a bit of a weird lighting situation going on today. I do have my lamp on, but also I've got my big light on and I've got the curtains open and the sun's just glaring through the window. I think it's only blinding me. I don't think it's glaring on the page, which is okay. So we've got that colour down, and then I'm going to add in a bit of olive green yellowish 173. This is a really nice green to add to yellow tones, I find. So I'm going to go in just in random areas with this, because you've sort of got a fruit that wants to ripen up, but it's not quite ripe yet. So I'm going to pop a bit under the top of the tomato, whatever you want to call it. I like colouring fruit like this. I think it looks more realistic when you go off what would normally happen with fruit when you're growing it. Because not every tomato on your tomato plant would be ripe all at the same time, basically. So we're going to add this, I call it a mucky green. I think it's like a dirty green. I don't know. But there we go. And then we're going to go back in with a hard pressure of the dark Naples ochre 184 to just burnish with this now, so we can really get that yellow tone back into it, because we do want it to be punchy there. I'm just snapping the pencil left, right and centre. So there we go. Where's my duster brush? Let's get that monkey off. So that's the second one, which is a bit more yellowy. And then this one we're going to have green and red. So we're going to have it on the verge maybe. Or maybe a green, yellow and red in there. What should I do? Well, let's put a base down of the Naples ochre first. Dark Naples ochre 184. And let's just put a light layer of that down, because that'll just get rid of the white space anyway there. Get rid of the white space. And then, yeah, let's add some of that green in, but some lighter green as well. So I'm going back in with that sort of olive green yellowish 173. I'm going to pop a bit around the bottom of the tomato. Just really blend it into nothingness now. And then I'm going to add, to lighten it up a bit, light green 171. There we go. Made a funny noise for you. And I'm going to light pressure. I'm just going to add a bit of this in. Light pressure. Snapping pencils again. And now I'm going to get that red bit in the top. So going in with the lightest red, light cadmium red 117. Now I'm hoping this blends nicely, because red and green, well, it would look a bit muddied anyway. I think those colours on a tomato do look a bit muddied, but I want it to like sort of blend in nicely. I don't want it to be too like, ew, look at that kind of thing. You could go over, if you find that it looks a bit muddied, you can go over with something like a white or an ivory, and it tends to like brighten it up a bit and gets rid of the muddiness. So pop a bit of that in. I'm going to go in with the deeper red now. So now that we've got that initial base in, I'm going to go in with the middle cadmium red 217. I'm going to start on this side and just under the leaves. Let me turn you around. Hope you can see this. I've not got a really good view of what you can see on the camera at the minute. I'm being blinded by the sun coming from my window. Adding a bit of that red down there to the bottom. And then I'm going to go back in just over the top of it all with the dark Naples ochre 184. So I'm just going to start off at the bottom of the red bit here, and I think that will blend it in nicely. You have to think which colours you can use to blend, what will blend all the colours together nicely. And it is this one really. There we go. Oh, quite like that. Quite liking this. So next up is the leaves. So the ones that are actually on the tomato here, I'm going to do those quite dark. Because if you've ever seen a tomato plant, you'll know they are quite dark. So I'm going to go in first with dark phthalo green 264. So we're going to do a light layer of this. We will deepen all this up in a second, and then I'll be erasing everything I've gone over the lines. There we go. Now we're going to go in with, if I can find the pencil, pine green 267, and this is the really dark colour that we need. So I'm going to pop this at the bottom and leave the tips brighter. There won't be much difference anyway. When I go back in with that lightest colour, you won't see. It'll sort of all merge into a dark shade, which is what we want on these parts. I've really enjoyed doing this colour along. I'm kind of sad that it's come to an end. Kind of sad, but I will pick another page to do in this book because I'm loving it. So back in now with the dark phthalo green 264, and just get them top bits, and it still stays a darker colour. When you've got something so small, it's really hard to stay in the lines. These are tiny illustrations. If you're colouring along, or if you've got this book, you'll know what I mean. So I am going to erase some of those parts before they irritate me. Because they do irritate me. And then I end up erasing what I don't want to erase. But that'll do. That'll do. Now I'm going to use the Nougat 178 just for these stalky bits. So this is teeny tiny. This is just going to be a block colour because that's too tiny to do any kind of shading on or get any other colours in there. Way too hard. That is tiny. So take this Nougat all along the stalk of these leaves. Now these leaves are going to be lighter, so I'm going to go in first with the light green 171, if you can see that very well. Light pressure all over the leaves. Like that. And then we're going to use a permanent green 266, and we're going to do these ones so that we're leaving it lighter on the edge, on the tips of the leaves. So we're just putting this colour at the bottom. Probably needed sharpening this pencil a little bit. Another motorbike going past the ice, making a big racket. There we go, and then back in with the light green. Light green 171, I'm going to fill in the gaps that's left. Fill in all the white space with that. Apologise if my big hand's in the way, it's a really tricky spot to try and get into on here without being in the way now. And there we go. That is the tomato. So I'm just going to pop in my little highlights and then we can move on to the persimmon. So where do I want my highlights on these tomatoes? That's the question. Where do I want them? I think around the edge where this, I think where Johanna's put these black lines, I think that's where the highlight would be. So I am going to sort of work my highlight into those. That sort of area. You can make the same sort of shape or you can put lines in. It's totally up to you how you want to do your highlights. I do them differently on all my pages. Sometimes I do lines, sometimes I do little squares, sometimes I do dots. But to cover up that, I'm just doing these sorts of rectangular kind of patterns and then some dots. There we go, and then we'll put a bit of dotting detailing in on the leaves. Not much, she says. Then she gets carried away. Wow. So that's that one. That's the tomatoes. Let's move on to the persimmon and then we're done. So the colours I'm going to use for this persimmon, I've never tried one. Again, another fruit I've never had, but they kind of look like this. So they're all sort of orangey, maybe a bit of naples in the centre of that. They're a bit orangey yellow. These ones are more yellowy on that side. Yeah, some I've not tried again. So I'm going to go in first with the dark naples ochre 184, and I'm going to colour this side of the persimmon. Get that colour right down there. And then I'm going to make this one a bit simple because I don't think there's not really much depth to this, to colour this. You've just seen what I've showed you. So it's just like a yellowy orangey colour, a bit like the papaya if I'm honest. So next, dark cadmium orange 115. I'm just going to pick out all this area here on this side that's sort of shadowed, and then the rest here I'm going to have like yellowy on that side. So this is pretty much a block colour, guys. Pretty much a block colour on this side. And then as we come to the other side, we're going to slowly lift off that hard pressure. I'm going to pop a bit of orange just under here, because I feel that it will be a bit darker there, and I'm just going to blend it down. Just go under there, and then a little bit right down here. But then the rest I'm going to go back in with that dark naples ochre 184, and we're just going to put a hard pressure of that one in now. And that's pretty much what this persimmon looks like. See all the pencil dust coming off now with the hard pressure here. But that is pretty much a persimmon, guys. Very easy. So similar kind of thing on this. This is the cut slice, and we're going to go darker around the outside. So I'm going to do that bit first. So I'm going to use the dark cadmium orange 115, and I'm going to go round this area with a hard pressure. We just want to get that full block colouring around this outer edge. Really simple, this one, guys. Really simple, but it will look awesome when it's done. I'm going to have some nice blue flowers on this one as well. Not sure what colour flowers should be, but I think blue will look really nice. So next up, we're going to soften this line. So we're going to start to use small circular motions to pull that colour further towards the centre, but still keeping it lighter now as we move towards the centre. Just want a nice blend on here. A nice blend on it. There we go. We're going to take, I wonder if I've got a slightly lighter orange like the glaze. Let me try and find the glaze. Oh, cadmium orange, that'll do. Yeah, I'm going to switch to the cadmium orange now. So cadmium orange 111, and with this I'm just going to go over where we've just been, but also I want to bring it towards the center, but not completely in the center. Leave a sort of little circular shape in the middle of here, so sort of about there. And then we're going to go in the center with the dark naples ochre 184, hard pressure in the middle, hard pressure of this colour, and then we're going to burnish everywhere with this colour. So all the white space that's left around the outer edge, we're going to go in with this one as well. What am I getting notifications for again? I don't know, guys. Gonna go all around with that one now. And that's the middle part. So next up I'm going to do, I think we'll do the top of the persimmon, so this bit here. And it's like a it's like that olive green yellowish colour. What was it? Where is it? Let me find it. Let me find it. Yeah, this olive green yellowish 173. It's this kind of colour. Maybe I might add a bit of the naples into it. So very light pressure first. I'm just gonna get rid of the white space with this first, and then we'll go in with a harder pressure in some places. So from the top, oh gosh, don't snap your pencils like me, it's not a fun idea. There we go. Now I've got a really blunt edge, but I don't want to sharpen it again because it'll just do the same thing. So the back bits I'm just going to do fully dark. There's the little bits at the back, and then the front bit again I'm going to gradually make it so it's lighter on the tip. There we go. The little stalky bit I'm going to add a bit of the Nougat into. Where's my Nougat pencil gone? So Nougat 178. I'm going to add a little bit of this into the stalk, I think. Why not? And then on the tips of this I'm going to do dark naples ochre 184. Is this the same colour as I used before? Yeah, I've got two of this pencil. That's strange, must be a backup. I'm just going to pop a bit of that colour in here. It creates a nice texture over that green as well. Lovely. There we go, and I'm going to add a bit to the stalk. Next up we're going to move on to the flowers. So I've picked out some colours for the flowers. The first one I picked out light ultramarine 140. So I'm going to do a light layer of this over the petals, not the centre though. I'm going to do that a different colour. So just going over all the petals. There we go, and then we need a dark colour. So I'm going to go in now with Bluish turquoise 149. This is quite a nice colour. Quite a nice colour, this one. And again, I'm going to go in the centre area. On all of them. Teeny tiny this little illustration. Like, can barely get into that little space. We've done it. So I'm going to use the white now, just on the tips. Let me clean it off on a piece of paper, it's a bit mucky. So I'm going to use the white just on the edges to burnish the edges of the petals. I find blues sort of blend really nicely when you go in with white. Blues especially. It's a bit blunt though, this pencil, it has to be said. Last little one. My big hand's probably in the way. Oh, is there someone at my door? Hopefully it's just a letter being posted and no one knocking on. I didn't hear the doorbell. I'm sure I got a notification then for the door, but nobody's rung the doorbell. Strange. Unless it's the sun. The sun shines on the Ring doorbell sometimes and it just has a funny one. So in the centre of these little flowers, I'm going to use the Dirt Cadmium Yellow 108 just to see if I can get into that teeny tiny space in the centre. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how small that is unless you're colouring along and then you'll be like, oh days, that is teeny tiny. And then we're going to do our leaves. So our leaves, I'm going to start off with a May Green 170, my little tiny pencil. May Green. I love all these more sort of really earthy greens. Love them. So that's May Green, and then I'm going to use, where is it again? Chrome Oxide Green. Chrome Oxide Green 278. I like mixing the greens up. I like having lots of different greens on here. You can see that I've not just used the same greens for every single leaf on this page. I've really mixed it up with the greens, and that makes it look better, I think, than using the same colours constantly. It's easy to get stuck into a rut with colours that you know or are more used to using. There we go. Then I'm going to go back in with the, where have I put that over there? Back in with the May Green, just to make sure that these leaves, I've got no white space left. Let's get that all burnished nicely. Teeny tiny. Teeny tiny. Oh my word. There we go. And next bit, white gel pen detailing in. The most favourite bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of white gel pen in the centre of this. Like a really sort of little section there. Like that. And then I think I'm going to do a bit of gel pen around the edges. Maybe like that. On there. And then on the persimmon itself, we're going to have some little dots in the highlight, because I feel that that would look nicer on this one. and then a little bit of dotting detailing on the leaves, like always, but teeny tiny because they're only small, these little leaves, teeny tiny leaves, maybe a bigger one on there, going down in a line, and then there we go. I think that's it. I think we're done here. I think we're done. Should we zoom out and look at the whole page, because I'm rather excited to look at the finished page finally. It's only took me about 2 weeks. I don't know how long it took me. There we go, it's finished. It's finished. So I think it was better to do those 2 videos in one rather than separate, just to get this page done and dusted, and they didn't take that long to do. Oh, which is your favourite? Which is your favourite fruit? I think we all forget that tomatoes are fruit. My daughters love to keep reminding me. They try and trick me. They're like, Mum, is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? And I'm like, fruit. They're like trying to catch me out. But there, which is your favourite? Comment down below which is your favourite one. And please, if you've not already joined in with this colour along, please do, and send me any pictures you've done of your pages over on Instagram, or email them to me. I love to see them. But yeah, please drop me a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, hit that big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's have a close up. You can have a zoomy zoom. And that's it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.